Good morning, social media. It's Dr. Steve, master of the subconscious mind and doctor who fixes 100% of orthopedic issues not related to cancer, fracture, or infection. So, I've gone over so many things as of late with regarding spiritual growth and the chakra system and the meridians and how the body speaks the mind, and we use the symptoms in the body to express what the mind is actually thinking to heal. And once we get out of that, we don't have the physical pain, we don't have symptoms, there's still more growth to do just because you're not expressing symptoms. And so there's some signs that you are on the right path and you're experiencing what we call ascension, which is connection with the soul's purpose, because we are only spiritual beings having a human experience. And so, I have a whole list of them, but one of them is understanding that how people treat you is a reflection of them, right? So we attract these experiences in our life really just to grow as people, and people are only able to meet you on the level of how they feel about themselves. And they do things out of their own insecurities. Securities about money, securities about being alone, securities about being hurt, right? And they create problems because of their own insecurities. It's not that you're a victim, they're just doing those things to protect their own heart, because they're fail at being able to open their heart and trust their intuition. They're very disconnected people. So, we have a scale of relativity where people vibrate typically anywhere from 100 to 1,000, right? And so 1,000's at this optimal level, and 100 being very low, and just running a program of the subconscious mind and fear and anxiety their entire life. And you have to feel sympathy for those people because they're just lost and they're forcing life and they're miserable. And that's why they do miserable things to others, because they're just in a survival mode. Another sign that you're heading into ascension is you have a desire to go, you don't have a desire to go with what society dictates is normal. And you have your own views on health, relationships, and money, right? So society programs us from a young age, and they tell us how to act. Parents tell us how to act. School tells us how to act. Others have a certain belief system. And when you disconnect from what everyone thinks and you're able to go within your heart and trust the intuition, we have a soul's purpose. And so we know what's right for us to deal with our own health care, and whether that be understanding how the body actually works and to use what the universe is telling us in our bodies to awaken, right? We can choose that route, or we can take drugs and mask everything, or whatever we would like to do. That's your path. What you choose, you can live in the 3D world or you can live in the 5D world, which is the soul's purpose. And so once you understand that the body speaks the mind, no longer do you have a desire or a need to look for other things other than to heal yourself and to find out what the actual meaning behind these health-related challenges are. Relationships, right? We understand, whatever relationship it is you desire, whatever you feel in your core, that's the type of desire you should go after. It doesn't matter if it's the same sex. It doesn't matter if it's polygamy. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that feels right to you, a soul, only seeking out a soul partner, right? So many relationships fail because of the fact that, they listen to society and they have arranged marriages, or they have a belief system that, they're trying to just be with somebody and they settle instead of looking for what the soul really wants, right? They're trying to fulfill an empty void by going outside and, just finding what's physically attractive to them and what makes sense, right? Instead of looking actually where the soul resonance is, right? Because that's a relationship that can last. It's one that it's not that you don't learn lessons through the relationship, but it's one that can actually endure the length of time. And that's what's really desired. And both people want to help each other grow and commit. So, and then the other one is money, and society has this superficiality to it that, we need this and that to be happy, to fulfill ourselves, and we have to have expensive things. Once we're on the spiritual journey, it does not matter anymore whether you have these things. They're nice to have, right, if you have them, but you're content and you're at peace if you don't. You're not constantly chasing it, right? The universe provides for us whenever we open our heart and trust, right? And then it gives us the intuition of what we should be doing. And when we're helping others on our mission, the money just comes. The focus doesn't need to be on money. Never should be about money, because that's forcing through the solar plexus and feeding the ego. And when we do that, it typically doesn't last. Another sign of ascension is this strong desire to heal wounds from the past and forgiving others to create internal peace. So everyone has gone through things. People have done things to them. They've been raised in bad families, and we're born in certain families and learn certain situations. Those are just our soul contracts that we have to fulfill to overcome, to have the self-love for ourselves, and to be understanding of how things actually work, right? So when you have that strong desire to understand why things are happening in your life and to grow and change, you know that you're headed towards ascension and growing as a person, and you have that spiritual aspect within inside you. So another ascension sign is able to listen to your intuition and do what is asked of you without fear of failure or judgment from others. So everyone has that voice inside their head that's guided, and they know what they should be doing, right? If they're totally disconnected, maybe not. Maybe the crown chakra is totally shut and they're not getting any information, but that's because their heart's closed and they've had bad experiences and they're fearful of what could happen. Everyone has gifts, everyone has hobbies, they have interests, and they know what they should be doing on their journey. They just don't do it, right? Whether it be a desire to only focus on money and have prestige, whether it be staying in a relationship that's not meant for them, whatever that is, right? So when you have that strong desire to heal those wounds, that's when you know you're on the right path. Doesn't mean you're there yet, but you're headed the right way, and you're on that journey that you need to be on, right? The other thing is, when we know we're on that journey, is when nothing is needed to fulfill you. You know, you don't need money, you don't need relationships, and you don't need activities, right? Many people are just out running around having to do stuff all the time to keep themselves preoccupied so they don't have to be in their mind. They're not comfortable sitting at home, right? There was a study that was done by, I forgot which university did it, but they interviewed a bunch of people and asked them, what would you be more comfortable sitting at home alone in your own thoughts, or would you rather be electrocuted, electrically shocked? And most people chose to be electrically shocked because they can't stand to sit in their own silence because of all the thoughts that are in their head, and the doubt, and the disbelief, and the pain and experiences that they've had in life. So you know that you're on that right path, right? When nothing is needed to fulfill you, nothing, right? You understand that money and relationships and fun things just happen in your life just as you're going through it, and you're able to enjoy it, right? And no matter where you're at, no matter how much money you have, no matter what kind of relationships you have in your life, you're able to enjoy it because you know that it's just guiding you on your path of what's supposed to happen, right? Because there's divine timing. Things always happen at the right time, right? And there's a reason behind every experience that you go through, and you just have to sit there and meditate on it and find out what those experiences are. Another sign of ascension is you learn from your experiences, guiding you to your soul's purpose, and you don't get mad about the things that don't work out, right? You can reflect on it and look at it, and you can understand it, but you understand the reason why these things happen, and you accept it, right? It's as simple as that. And then you don't hold any animosity or any anger or resentment, because when we're in those frequencies, it draws in more of those experiences, and you never learn the karmic lessons, right? And you end up pushing away what's right for you, right? Because you're in the wrong resonance, right? You're not on that soul's path. And the final way that you really know that you're on that ascension is that you have a strong desire to help others on their journey, and you see where others are making mistakes, and you know where they're making their mistakes, and you do your best to help them. So you can, sometimes you can lead a horse to water you can't make them drink, right? So all you can do is your best to guide people, and if they choose to go down the wrong path, they just have to go through their karmic situations on their own, learn the lessons, and they always say that the student arrives, or the teacher arrives when the student is ready. It's just that. So these people come and flock to you because they're drawn to you because of your energy, and if they run away or they can't handle it, it's on them, right? They're just not ready for it, and they're stuck in the 3D world, which is basically hell, right? There is no heaven or hell per se. It's basically you put yourself in your own mental prison here by seeking validation from external factors, right? So all that you have to do when you want to manifest and grow is listen to your intuition, open your heart. That's where the intuition comes from, and set your intention. This is what I have to do. Don't worry about what's happened in the past, because it's not going to repeat, because you love yourself and you take care of yourself and you know what's right for you. You believe it to your core that it's going to happen, and you don't worry about it. You don't stay in anxiety in the future thinking, what if, what if, what if, what if. You only do what you're supposed to do right now and just flow with everything, right? We want to be like the water element, flow. And if we aren't flowing, things don't move. The energy does not go through the 5 elements in Chinese medicine. So fire, earth, metal, water, wood. The energy doesn't flow. When it doesn't flow in those patterns properly, we start to get symptoms in the body expressed as health challenges like headaches, poor digestion, autoimmune diseases, pain, physical pain in the body, right? All those things are just there to reawaken you. They're not, the pains, fears, and challenges of life are just there to reawaken you. That's it. So if you're struggling to figure out the messages and why you have this pain, and your intuition's blocked, you're not guided, you have anxiety about what if, you know, you had a horrible traumatic childhood that you have a hard time letting go of, abandonment issues, any of those things, we can address those with the energy. We can change that. That's what I do in the office, is I take people's symptoms in their body and their experiences, and I change the energetic frequency of the karmic situation so that it vibrates on a higher level, so it becomes conscious, it becomes processed, and it disappears usually immediately. So the things can change right away. It's all about frequency, right? Nikola Tesla always said it's energy, frequency, and vibration. That's what life is. And so it's just the journey.